Hugo Mercier, Not Born Yesterday, The Science of Who We Trust and What We Believe. In the book, Not Born Yesterday, The Science of Who We Trust and What We Believe, author Hugo Mercier delves into the complexities of human trust and the way we process information. Through a series of intriguing examples and hypotheses, Mercier challenges the notion that humans are innately gullible and presents evidence showing that our vigilance mechanisms serve to protect us from harmful misinformation. The essence of the book is the analysis of how humans choose what to believe by seeking beliefs that align with our existing views, and how this affects our interactions with communication, particularly in the age of misinformation.
Belief and human persuasion. The human mind is not inherently gullible, but we often seek out beliefs that match our own views and goals. Critical anthropologists push the facts model of internalization, which argues that people soak up cultural information and express it throughout generations. However, this model falls short due to the potential cultural variation in societies. When deciding what to believe, we tend to choose beliefs that match our own views. The story of the lost wallet, Doctor, is an example of this. Studies on propaganda exposure show that it is difficult to influence people's beliefs, which suggests that the mind is not gullible. The cost of communication. Effective communication among individuals with common goals relies on reliable signals. Sending these signals incurs a cost for the sender, but it's essential for cooperation and success. Charles Darwin's theory of evolution by natural selection supports inclusive fitness as a driver for individuals to work together towards a common goal. Examples from the behavior of bees reinforce the importance of trustworthy communication signals. High-cost communication behavior is less stable, leading to ignored signals. Understanding open vigilance mechanisms. Communication is a vital aspect of the human society, and as a species, we've developed cognitive mechanisms to help us believe information or people. Open vigilance mechanisms, as they're called, have evolved side by side with human communication to keep us from believing everything we hear or see. This book explains how these mechanisms work, using the arms race analogy, and debunks the mistaken idea that humans are gullible due to limitations of intellect. Open vigilance mechanisms help us accept beneficial messages and reject harmful ones, and even when our attention is compromised, we become more stubborn and conservative, rather than gullible. Staying vigilant and open-minded. The book emphasizes that we rely on our prior beliefs and reasoning to judge new information's plausibility. Our personal beliefs are essential until they are challenged by outside information. Plausibility checking and reasoning are crucial cognitive mechanisms that help us stay both vigilant and open-minded while discussing issues in small groups. We can reject implausible information but remain open to new ideas. Being objective while challenging an argument is crucial. Separating the conclusion from the argument itself can make the conclusion more convincing. Trusting intuition, the dilemma of identifying competence. When Sabine Moreau ended up in Croatia instead of Belgium due to GPS error, it raised questions of who or what knows best. The article explores our dependence on intuition in identifying competence, where open vigilance can assess past performance to evaluate someone's abilities. The challenge is how to infer a person's competence from observations, where a history of successes is harder to fake than a one-time success. Even preschoolers consider cues before deciding if someone knows better than they do, even in cases of majority consensus. What they observe as competence and credibility is compared with intuition and prior beliefs before siding with or against an expert's opinion. The real consequence of fake news. Fake news does not mislead people, but justifies actions they were going to take anyway. A study reveals that exposure to media influences opinions, but people generally do not seek information that challenges their beliefs. Instead, fake news adds legitimacy to views already held.
After exploring the various aspects of human trust and belief systems in Not Born Yesterday, it becomes clear that humans are not inherently gullible. Instead, we rely on cognitive mechanisms dubbed as open vigilance mechanisms to seek out information that aligns with our existing beliefs, evaluate other people's competence, and remain guarded against harmful influence. This book argues that understanding these mechanisms is essential in the era of fake news and rampant misinformation, as it reinforces the importance of critical thinking to diminish the adverse impact of manipulative communication. It's an eye-opener that gives readers a clearer perspective on how trust and belief systems operate and why they matter in today's society.